Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the Ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Wednesday, March 10th, 2021. And today is a day that's ruled by the second chakra and guided by heart. And the galactic signature of today is the White Galactic World Bridger energy. And so the White World Bridger energy is all about equalization, DEATH, and opportunity. And we're going to, so I don't have to spell DEATH out a bunch of times, we're going to call it the big D. And so, this White World Bridger energy is all about, first of all, the big D being the great equalizer, because it brings richness to this experience. The fact that we will eventually DIE means that we appreciate life that much more. It gives a context to it. It gives like the illusion, at least, of a start point and an end point, right? And so we value all that time in between that much more. It is one thing that we all know that we will experience in this physical incarnation, at least. I and some of the people that I know, we like to call it transitioning as opposed to DYING, because that's really what's happening as energy never DIESs, right? However, it's this idea that in this specific physical incarnation, we only have so much time. And so what are we doing with that time? So being really grateful for our lives today, for the experience that we have in these physical bodies and the richness of that experience. This is also that understanding of what within ourselves needs to DIE, right? What have we outgrown? What has outgrown its function? What is limited that needs to be released so that we can experience that rebirth? And this is an energy that we're very familiar with. We've been working with these energies very much throughout 2020 and throughout 2021 so far. So today is just really emphasizing that. And with this galactic tone, which is all about harmonizing, modeling, and integrity, we're really looking at what we can let go of, what we can release, what has served its function, so that we can come into greater harmony with the world around us and into greater harmony with our own ideals, our own values. Like, what do we believe now? What do we value now? And that has been shifting incredibly, especially where we have Uranus right now in the sign of Taurus, which is really giving an overhaul to what we value both as individuals and as a collective. And so really looking at that, because with this galactic tone, we really want to model. When we talk about integrity, right? Integrity is when our actions and our words match our beliefs, match our thoughts, match our truth, right? When we live our truth, that's when we model integrity. So what do we need to release in order to step deeper into our integrity today? The affirmation for today is, I harmonize in order to equalize, modeling opportunity. I seal the store of the big D with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of heart. So that heart energy underlying everything that we do today, as we release with love, as we harmonize with the world around us, right? As today, even though it is about letting the things DIE that need to, it's also about building those bridges. And so where can I build bridges today? Where do I need to burn them down, and where do I want to build them? And how do I want to do that? And how can I do that with heart? So for the astrology of today, we have the moon still in the sign of Aquarius, and we have a bunch of really interesting things going on. So we have a bisextile going on between Mars, Chiron, and Saturn. This is very intense energy, but it's not an unpleasant energy. And so when we're working with this, we're really being asked to put into practice the things that we've learned as Chiron has moved through the sign of Aries, right? And as we had Mars for a very long time in the sign of Aries throughout the second half of 2020, we really were working on wounds surrounding our empowerment, our ability to exert our masculine energy, and how we do that, how we go about that. And so really looking at what we've learned, what we've healed, and how it is that we are able to take constructive ACTION in our lives. How it is that we're able to put things into practice. This is sort of like when the rubber meets the road kind of energy, but in a beautiful, beneficial way, not in a super strenuous way. And we do have a lot of help coming in today we have the moon also moving into conjunction with Mercury and Jupiter. And Mercury and Jupiter are not super conjunct anymore, but it's still, the moon is very conjunct Jupiter, and then it's gonna, because the moon moves so quickly, it's gonna be conjunct each of these planets throughout the day, and it's still within the range, within 5 degrees of both of them at the same time. And so this is really helpful because with the moon in Aquarius, we're able to think very logically today. We're able to harmonize our emotional nature because we're seeing that emotional nature through that it's sort of like a higher viewpoint that emerges, especially when we're looking at that Jupiterian energy as well, which adds that positivity, which adds that expansion. So really our mental space and our emotional space expanding today, really working together in concert. So I feel a lot of breakthroughs for people today, which is really, really beautiful on an emotional level as well as on a psychological level. And then the moon also, well, the moon actually already passed by Saturn, so we won't get into that. But yeah, just a lot of beautiful breakthrough energy. We also have the sun very, very conjunct Neptune now. They're less than a degree apart from each other. And so that's really bringing in that Piscean energy. That's really bringing in that collective vision, that higher perspective, if you will. Especially when we don't yet have the moon meeting. And so with just the sun and Neptune meeting, it just gives a little bit of a rosy glow to things, I feel like. We still have a lot of energies that are very, very realistic and very truthful. So we're not necessarily, I feel, getting caught up in that illusion right now. We're just really, it's almost like we're being able to see the illusion for what it is in some respects, which is going to be really helpful as we then move into that new moon, which is definitely heavy on the Pisces energy. And we're going to utilize that to really dream and to tap into it's going to be bringing that divine feminine energy very much to the forefront. And I will get that video out. I've been very busy, but I will absolutely get that out for you guys in the next couple days. But yeah, so just a beautiful energy today. And we're going to start with the Star Temple Oracle. Clear. What guidance? Okay. And we have the triple star grid coming out. I connect and align with my higher consciousness. This card has been coming out a lot. So we're really being guided to do that. And we definitely have a strong opportunity to do that today with all of this expansive mental energy, plus all of the Piscean energy. We're able to tap into that, and we're being asked to tap into that today. And then we have, oh my gosh, this is so interesting that this card's come out quite a few times too. The Amber Star, let go, I surrender and allow myself to grieve. So that energy just coming through very strongly still. And that energy of surrender. And when we have these White World Bridger days, it is very much that energy of surrender that we're tapping into, right? If we're releasing, if we're letting go, if we're allowing things to die, right? Then we are absolutely in this process of surrender. And that energy still of allowing ourselves to grieve, where it is that grief wants to be expressed within us, and not judging what it is that we're grieving, how it is that we're grieving it, just allowing ourselves that process, giving ourselves the freedom to do that in the way that feels right for us. And then we also have Electra, the Lost Star, rebirth, out of the darkness into the light. So that rebirthing energy, right? We let go, we surrender. We use our higher consciousness to tap into what it is that we are being asked to let go of. We allow ourselves to grieve that if we need to grieve that. And then out of that, once we are able to step into, it's like the darkness of that grief, the feeling of that, the fullness of that, we emerge into the light and we are reborn. So that is gorgeous energy, a gorgeous trajectory of energy there coming out for us today. And then we have, this is a new one, the Oracle forecast. I am the Oracle. My intuitive insights flow freely. I love that. And then the mirror, reflect. I hold the mirror up to see, accept, and love all of me. And this card's been coming up a lot too. As well as the little star on the bottom of the deck. Divine, my inner child is whole and complete. So the possibility for inner child healing today, right? The possibility to really look at the aspects of ourselves that are wanting to be healed, really paying attention to what is being shown, what is coming up in the depths of us, learning how to love and embrace all of those aspects of us. And a lot of times that's what helps heal our inner child, because many aspects of our inner children, there are aspects of our inner children that are very wounded. because they weren't loved and they weren't accepted by other people, but most of all, oftentimes by us. Right? When we are unaccepted by other people, we turn that energy in on ourselves very oftentimes. We internalize that. And that hurts and wounds our inner child. And so those are wounds that we then need to heal by coming back and loving all aspects of ourselves, even those aspects that are messy, right? Even though, especially those aspects that are messy. And so it's really getting into that today and just practicing that energy of loving and accepting ourselves. I love that when we talked about the mirror exercise, where we stand in front of the mirror, we look into our own eyes and we tell ourselves how much we love ourselves until it stops feeling uncomfortable. Right? If it's uncomfortable to do that, we know that there's work to be done there. So that's a great way to test that out as well. And then this, with all of this heavy psychic energy coming in, right? Those insights are flowing freely. And I love these cards because some of them are like affirmations, right? Like, that's a great affirmation to use. I am the oracle. My intuitive insights flow freely. So just saying that to yourself over and over again until you begin to believe it, right? Because that's what we're all training to do. That's what we're all learning to do, is to understand that we are what we seek. We are that oracle. All of the answers that we are seeking outside of ourselves exist within ourselves. And then I'm going to read the mirror energy here. So this says, Star words, ego, shadow, authenticity. Marot promotes unconditional self-acceptance and encourages you to truly love yourself, warts and all. Hold the mirror up and be honest with yourself. Stop telling yourself lies. Realize that you are worthy of being loved. True self-love transpires when you can take a hard, deep look at yourself and learn to love your light and dark aspects. Right? Our duality creates sacred balance within. Integrate your shadow for transformative illumination. Authenticity is your unique light in the world, so sparkle with self-assurance and self-compassion. Self-assurance and self-compassion. So really allowing ourselves to see and hold space for what's coming up within us today and for those parts of ourselves that are wanting to be healed. And then I love this card, which was underneath the little star, the inner child card, the diamond star, destiny. I focus on service and follow my higher purpose. That is the highest aspiration of the heart, right? To be engaged in service. Service to humanity. That's what so many of us are here for, right? But we understand we are part of humanity. So don't forget that today. You are part of humanity. So if you are here to help heal the world, that includes you. And you are the most important aspect of that equation. Because we can't transmit what we don't have, right? So the more deeply we can heal ourselves, the better a channel we are for that loving service for the world. We can't help people heal something that we haven't healed ourselves, to an extent. Although I will say, I think a lot of us, part of what we do is, as we assist people in healing these things, we are also healing ourselves. So that's not fully true, I don't think. But it is true to an extent. We have to have something to draw upon. We heal ourselves more deeply as we assist in healing others. But it has to begin with the self. All right, maybe that made a little more sense there. And what else am I wanting to pull for us today? Yeah, I'll pull a couple of these. I was going to go... No, I want to pull these. All right, we're going to go with the cosmic spirit, or the conscious spirit. Clear. What's some more guidance for us for today from the cosmic conscious spirit deck? Archangel Michael tumbling out there. I am grateful for the strength and courage Archangel Michael brings to my life. So he wanted to be known. He wanted his presence to be known right now. Anyone who's been seeking to communicate with him, he is present. And I love with the throat chakra card coming out. I speak my truth and encourage others to speak theirs. I feel like Archangel Michael is coming through, and he's so multi-talented, right? And today he's also saying that he wants to give you the strength and courage to speak your truth. That's what he's wanting to come and assist people with today. And you can see that I'm feeling it with the sword right now, right? His sword does a lot of different things. But that is clarity. That is truth. So Archangel Michael wants to come through today to assist you in seeing your truth, and then to assist you in communicating that truth where it is that you need to communicate it. So thank you, Archangel Michael. We very much appreciate you for that. And then we have Forest Frolic Maiden. I acknowledge my inner child, right? and open my heart to the joy she brings. So that inner child healing, absolutely coming through very strong today. It's about loving and accepting and embracing and honoring our inner child by honoring all aspects of us. But then it's also about showing her that love, showing them that appreciation by going out and having fun, right? What do kids like to do? They like to have fun. So really, that's a way that we can treat our inner child today. And she does. As we heal our inner child, there's so much. It's a beautiful heart-opening experience, and we can tap into that joy, which is our birthright, which is our ultimate purpose, right? Everything else springs naturally from that joy. And then we have Spark of Divine. I reignite the divine spark within me and recognize I am part of all creation. So that's that beautiful Piscean energy coming in too, right? But this is our higher self really being activated, us really stepping into and communicating and embracing our higher selves today, embracing that beautiful divine spark, right? It's like, if you can see that divine spark in other people, and that's a fun thing to do, is to practice recognizing that in others, can you also recognize it in yourself? Go back to that mirror exercise. Can you stare into your own eyes and see that spark of divinity within you? And can you then nurture that divinity like a seed and allow that to grow? I feel like that's a great meditation or a great exercise that they want people to do, is connecting with that spark of divinity within you, either by looking in a mirror and looking into your own eyes, or just closing your eyes and imagining that spark like seated, say, like deep inside your heart chakra, deep inside your chest. And then every day it would be a great practice to just allow that spark to grow and just really feed that with love and watch and feel that spark as it gets brighter and brighter and bigger and bigger. And so I feel like that's something they want me to do too. So that's really interesting. I like that that's coming through. Anything else here? Balance. I understand and embrace the opposing forces in life that bring about balance. So us learning how to achieve balance today, learning, understanding and appreciating contrast, right? And when we talk about the big D and life, right, that's a contrast. And that contrast brings so much opportunity and so much appreciation. So noticing all the contrasts in our lives today and how they are bringing more enrichment to us and what it is that they're showing us and teaching us about what it is that we want, about what it is that we don't want, about where it is that we are in that spectrum. And when we look at balance, if we are finding ourselves today teetering to either extreme, how can we bring ourselves to a more even keel? And then air elemental. I embrace the element of air and am open to all knowledge and wisdom. And a lot of that knowledge and wisdom, like we said, is coming from you today, is coming from you as the oracle. So really pay attention to the insights that you are gaining today about yourself, about your inner child, about your shadow, about your divinity, about absolutely anything and everything at all. Really pay attention to those and honor those and communicate those. That our air element is also all about communication, right? And Archangel Michael, as we said, is here to assist you in that communication, in seeing and understanding your own truth, and then figuring out how to translate that to others, where that truth needs to be spoken, what ways, how does that truth need to be delivered, who does it need to be delivered to, and how is the best way to go about that? Ask Archangel Michael all of those questions. He's here to support you with that. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing day. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. My email is down below with the description of my services. If you would like any assistance with the inner child healing, with the shadow integration, with anything that we've talked about today, the speaking your truth, connecting with your divinity, the Belvaspata is really, really helpful for that. If the angelic healing of the heart that I do, they also call it the healing modality of miracles. It's so powerful. And I do other things as well, but I'm really feeling that for people watching this video today. So please reach out to me if you are interested and drop a comment. Let me know how this is going. And of course, as you always hear, if you liked this video, hit that like button. All right. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.